Consultation for free. Go to TraversLasik.com. Travers LASIK. And right now you can save $1,000. Travers LASIK. See what you've been missing.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It is hot out there, not terribly humid, but we may still see the hottest day so far this year at RDU, 90 degrees. 63 tonight and mainly clear with some patchy fog possible. And then tomorrow, 91 degrees, close to a record high both days, today and tomorrow, with lots of sunshine.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 355 points to 38,258. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. Hour of the Drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games, coming to Charlotte this June. North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Fetching the call. Delivering one into the score! Kuznetsov waiting. Varlamov comes out, waiting, dusting it off, waiting, shoots, he scores! Through the rebound, gets up, and he scores! Jack Drury, his first career playoff chance, and he scores! Mr. Net Front, Stephen Nason, it's 5-3!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. Those were fun highlights, weren't they? Canes are playing meaningful postseason games, heading to the second round. Higher aspirations, championship aspirations. You know who had a lot to do with that? Rod Brind'Amour. You know, had a lot with making that even seem plausible, because I'm not sure it did 7 years ago, making it even seem like there's a chance. Rod Brind'Amour. It doesn't matter if we think Rod Brind'Amour is not leaving Carolina anytime soon. His contract situation is a thing now. It's a thing. It's a distraction, if you want to call it that. It's a talking point around the league. It is now the thing that people that I know from outside of the market are reaching out to me most about right now. What's going on with the Rod Brind'Amour deal? Although they're using his formal name, Rod the Bod.
Yes, of course.
What's going on with Rod the Bod's
Rod the Bod.
contract is how they're addressing it. But
That's his government name.
But I respond with Brind'Amour. Respect. Here's the thing. I understand this is how the Hurricanes do business in a lot of ways. I understand this is how Tom Dundon, the owner, does business in a lot of ways. He is the drag it out, I'll be more patient than you, I'll let you go sign your offer sheets, I will drag this down, I will walk away from the table. Right? There's always a power move, and fine, move on. We'll see if we come back on it. We'll see if we come back around to it. I get it. But here's the thing we're missing. Rod isn't just somebody. Rod Brind'Amour isn't just somebody that you use status quo business tactics with. He's not somebody that you just go, well, we didn't kowtow to XYZ in the past, so we're not going to kowtow to you. You have to acknowledge when somebody is different. He is different. I'll use Dennis's football team as an example here. Mm-hmm. Steelers fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
They had a rule. I don't know if it's a rule. They have like a standard operating procedure that they don't give extensions on contracts until there's 1 year left on your contract, right? Don't come asking for a new deal with 2 or 3 years left. That was a rule. They operated that way for years and years.
And they don't negotiate during the season either.
Unless you're Ben Roethlisberger or TJ Watt, right? It's like that they had the acknowledgement of, well, yeah, if you're a two-time Super Bowl champ and you're a quarterback and you're a future Hall of Famer, or if you are a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, if you're a guy that leads the league in sacks, okay, fine. We'll treat you a little differently. We're not going to treat you the same way we treat, Willie Colon. I don't know why I picked him as the example. There's a difference in people in your organization. Because here's the thing. If you give Rod Brind'Amour a big deal, if you make it an easy negotiation, if you let him name his number, right? Because if you trust, and everybody around him seems to, if you trust Rod Brind'Amour that his requests are pretty logical, then guess what? That wouldn't ruin your leverage with everyone moving forward, right? Say you give Rod Brind'Amour a market-setting deal, and then you're negotiating with someone else, a player, maybe a coach long into the future, a front office executive, and they go, wait a second, you gave Rod Brind'Amour a market-setting deal. Why don't you do the same for me? You're going to have a laundry list of reasons. You're going to go, well, okay, that's a great question. We're not going to treat you the same way we treated Rod Brind'Amour because you're not maybe the most important person in Carolina Hurricanes history. I mean, do you have a cup as a player? Do you have 6 years of shown proof that it's getting better and better while you're coaching and running the show? Do you have the culture of the Hurricanes pretty much embodied in your image? Because if that's not you, that's the qualifications for getting the Rod Brind'Amour treatment. That's the qualifications for getting a smooth and easy name-your-price contract. Rod Brind'Amour is one of the best coaches in the league. If he hits the open market, the interest will be overwhelming. The money offered to him will be overwhelming by teams that have no connection to him. There'd be a team that he didn't win a cup for, a team that he didn't play all those years for, a team that he hasn't coached, created a life here. They'll be offering him boatloads of money. I think if you're proactive and handle it, you're not gonna ruin all of your future leverage. Just like when the Steelers gave TJ Watt an extension early, it didn't ruin all leverage with players moving forward because they can just say, well, if you're as good as TJ Watt, we'll do it for you too.
Mm-hmm. There are exceptions.
If you mean as much to the franchise as Rod Brind'Amour, more than happy to give you a market-setting deal. Because guess what I'm pretty confident is going to happen? Nobody's going to mean as much to the Carolina Hurricanes as Rod Brind'Amour. Not for a long time. Not unless someone like Aho or something wins a cup, maybe a couple of them, maybe 3 of them, and then wants to come back and coach when his career is over. Aho can get the Brind'Amour treatment.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. You're right. It wasn't the first one. Even if he wins multiples, it wasn't the first one. My point is this. It's a thing. Questions are being asked. People are going to have to talk about it. The contract is going to expire this offseason. Okay? It's here. It's present. Even if you don't want to talk about it, you have to talk about how you don't want to talk about it because people are going to ask you about it. Right? If your stance is it's all just posturing, they're going to get a deal done, you're going to have to say that like 10 times. Because someone's going to keep coming up and wanting to talk about it. My take is, yeah, this might be the way the Canes operate. This might be the way Dundon negotiates with everybody else. With Rod Brind'Amour, I think it should have been different because he is different. Rod spoke with the media earlier today. Here's his comments on the contract.
I had a great conversation yesterday with Don and then again this morning, and I feel really good that we'll figure it out quickly and yeah, I'm not concerned.
Quickly is like a year ago. That's when quickly got it done. It's not quickly if it gets done now. Quickly is long past. Quickly's in the rearview mirror.
And I think I think Rod also wants to make sure as part of his deal that his guys, like his people in terms of his staff, they want to be taken care of. Like Bill Burnison, the strength and conditioning coach, all those guys from Tim Gleason, every single one of those guys that are alongside Rod are all taken care of too, because those guys, as well as they've done here in Carolina, can get the same job or similar job at another team and get paid quite handsomely.
And I don't want that to be like Rod's bringing baggage, because he does bring baggage, right? He brings people that he trusts. He brings people that are bought. He also brings wins. He also brings improvement. He brings every different kind of baggage. It's not just like, oh, I want my buddies paid too. So no, they contribute. If he says he needs those guys to win, I'm not calling his bluff on that one. I'm going, all right, what do we have to do to make everybody happy here? Because Rod Brind'Amour is different, right? And if you want to go back to the days pre-Brind'Amour, feel free. I wouldn't be jumping into those waters with a smile on my face. I'd have to be dragged kicking and screaming into the non-Brind'Amour days. That much I'm pretty darn certain of. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis has something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. We're in the month of May. May is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. And as someone who rides a motorcycle, and you've heard me say before, I took my motorcycle into work again today. If I'm ever in an accident, I know exactly who I got to contact. It's Law Tigers. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. I got to call them before the insurance company. But here's the thing when it comes to motorcycle and safety awareness. It's not just for the people that are riding. Obviously, for those who are riding, we have to take all the precautions in terms of being a safe rider, in terms of the equipment that we wear, make sure our bike is properly operating, and just how we ride down the road. But it's also awareness on people who are driving down the road as well that understand that, you know what, this is the time of year where a lot of people are out on their bikes. It's warm outside. It's riding season. So make sure you're aware when you're going down the roads that there are people on the roads out there with you who may not be on four wheels. They just might be on two or three. But if you are in an accident, if you are riding, and if you are in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before your insurance company, because the insurance company, they just want to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They ride motorcycles just like I do, and they understand what your bike and your gear are worth. So they're going, so they know exactly what you're going through when it comes to being in an accident. Your case evaluation is always free with Law Tigers, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Lawmakers are once again sticking their nose in our sports world. And I'll tell you how, and it's how it's hitting us right here in North Carolina, coming up next.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
Here comes Kuznetsov with the touch and the slowdown. Kuznetsov waiting. Varlamov comes out waiting, dusting it off. Waiting, shoots, he scores!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold, your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab two of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Larson to hold. There's a snap. Ball down. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. He hooked it wide left. It went wide left. And NC State hangs on for a 21-20 lead.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That highlight, you may be saying, why are we playing NC State at ECU from a couple years ago? You'll see. NC State's going to be forced into that situation again, maybe. North Carolina lawmakers. This comes from reporting done by our very own Brian Murphy over at WRAL, sports investigative reporter. He'll be joining the show in not super far from now, about 20 minutes, maybe a little longer, half hour. North Carolina lawmakers want to require the state's two biggest and richest athletic programs, UNC Chapel Hill and NC State, to regularly play football and basketball games against other in-state public schools. Under the bill, fired by Republican House members, UNC and State would be required to play at least one of East Carolina, App State, and Charlotte every year, and would have to play each school home and away every 6 years. They'd also, and this is the side part, UNC and State would be required to play each other home or away every year. Every year. We'll come back to that one. Let's talk about...
Take that, ACC.
Well, basically, that's what we're going to get to. I think that is a bit ominous. But let's start with the ECU, App State, Charlotte portion of this. I don't love this for State and Carolina. The margins, the evaluations, the resumes in college sports matter now more than ever, right? The committees, the debates, the eye test, that matter now more than ever. And I'm not saying that it's always bad for UNC and NC State to play in-state teams. I am saying, however, that you want them to be able to make every decision with the full autonomy to help them get as far as they possibly can every year. There are some years where App State is a really good team. We're talking football here. There are years where ECU is a really good football team, really good basketball team occasionally. There are years when NC State or UNC should be looking for a really darn good non-conference opponent in the Power 5. Those years it'll make sense. There will also be years where they're looking for pushovers in their non-conference schedule, and the lawmakers are trying to say, sorry, got to do what you got to do, bud. Not to mention that they have to play each of them home and away within a 6-year period, which means every other year, on average, they're going to be going to a group of 5 opponent. That's costing you all of the money that you make in a home concession stand, right? All the money you make on home ticket sales minus the split. All of the money you make on buying gear at the team store when people are coming in town to watch a home game. It's costing you money. There are, I would say, a lot of things that go into deciding who your non-conference schedule is going to be. And every team makes the decisions based on those factors year over year over year over year. NC State and UNC are about to have one less option. They're going to be forced into doing something. They're going to be pressed into doing something if this bill is passed, which is filed by prominent Republican House members, North Carolina lawmakers. I can't help but think kind of the lawmakers learned recently that they can boss around the athletics programs and then said, well, what else can we do? Like, I'm halfway. I've made this joke off air, but like the more I think about it, the more it might not be a complete joke. How long until lawmakers are saying, in-stadium concession stands for state schools have to have all North Carolina produced food and beverage? Like, how long until they're using the athletics programs of state schools as simple ways to scratch backs all over the place, to curry favor, if you will? Mm-hmm. Because I do think this does benefit, by the way, Charlotte, ECU, and App State.
Oh,
gives
greatly.
them premier matchups every year in premier sports. But it does feel like you're putting that benefit above the benefits or the best interests of the North Carolina, meaning UNC, and North Carolina State athletics programs. And I just don't see how you come to that conclusion. Because as a sports fan in the area, I like in-state matchups. I think they're fun, right?
I love them.
I think it's fun when you have, grads from the two schools in your office and they get to rev up the rivalries and wear their gear. I think it's fun. I also think it's a lot of fun to have, I don't know, like a UNC or an NC State in a 12-team college football playoff. And yeah, if they're going to be like the number 3 team in the country, this doesn't matter at all. But let's be real. There's a good chance if and or when either of those teams make a college football playoff, they're going to be a bubble team, right? They're going to be, heck, the ACC champion might be the only way they get in without being a bubble team. And that might be hard to come by. There are some teams that they've struggled to get over in recent years. But if you're ranked 13th, 14th in the country and you're looking for the edge, and the edge turns out, well, this other team is a better non-conference schedule. Or, oh, this other team is a better signature non-conference win. And you're sitting there screaming, we didn't have a choice. We had to play Charlotte. The lawmakers told us. Well, the lawmakers didn't tell Texas, so they went and got a better win. They're going to squeak in over you. It's not a 0% chance of that happening if this bill passes. The other side of it is UNC and NC State will be required to play each other home or away every year. This is ominous. This is in preparation of them not being in the same conference. Because as long as they're in the ACC, they're going to play each other in basketball, and they're going to be a protected rivalry in football. As long as they're in the ACC together, this bill is pointless.
And plus, the state has control over conference realignment stuff anyway.
This feels like them saying, in case we do elect to let UNC leave, we still want NC State to at least get a game with them. Right? Because if the state, again, the committee, the UNC system, meaning not UNC Chapel Hill, like the North Carolina system that overlooks all of the UNC schools, has to approve any changing of conference. So to say you have to play each other and also say we get to make the decision on if you're in the same conference or not, that would be a bit like the second rule is not necessary if the first rule is you can't leave without our approval and we're not going to give you our approval. So maybe there's some in the legislator, maybe it's a checks and balances system. Maybe they're not going to be on the same committees and they want to have like another committee that says, no, you have to play each other even after the other committee says you can leave. I don't know. But I'm nervous by that UNC and NC State kind of add on to this one. Using the big programs to benefit the small programs, don't necessarily agree with it, but I see the logic.
Yeah.
Right? I see why someone who's interested in the success of all of the schools would be in. The NC State, UNC have to play each other every year. I only see that logic if you're thinking of letting one leave the ACC. That's the only way I see that logic, and I like when logic connects. I like when I can go A, B, C, D, and it all makes sense. That one, there's one gap we have to jump over, and I'm not sure I love that one as much. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Miller Lending. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending are the home of the no-cost loan. Gordon's been doing them no-closing cost loans since 1987, which means he's seen every different kind of situation, and he can work with you, right? The rates, the explanations, everything that come with it. Why are rates high right now? When will they come down? What should I do to be prepared for when they come down? How do I make sure I don't pay costs and fees over and over and over again? He's explained this time and time and time again over the last few decades, and they can do the same thing for you out there at Miller Lending. Matter of fact, they can do it for you right now. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can check them out online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the Panthers draft is complete. What's still on their to-do list other than a whole bunch of things? We'll break it down more in depth there coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I gotta go. Leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza's from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
What's up, bud? Where are you hanging for Cinco de Mayo?
Ah,
Sharkies.
Sharkies?
Yep, annual crawfish boil. Don't miss it ever.
Ooh, crawfish boil. I ain't missing that either.
You know what? It's Cinco de Mayo this year.
Whoa, Cinco de Mayo. I love it. Wait, that could be a hit song. Cinco de Mayo on the Mayo. Eating crawfish and Sharkies
You don't
all day
need to
long.
sing. I get it.
Come join the fun at Sharky's, 5800 Durham Road, the largest crawfish boil this side of New Orleans. Cinco de Mayo this year, baby.
Sharkies all day long.
The wait is almost over. Get ready for the 2024 NFL season as the full schedule is announced. Every rivalry, every rematch, every rookie debut, every game revealed. The 2024 NFL schedule release, presented by Verizon, coming in May. Live on NFL Network, ESPN2, and streaming on NFL Plus. Terms and conditions apply to NFL Plus. Visit NFL.com/schedule release to learn more.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text MAINE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text MAIN to 321-321. That's MAINE to 321-321.
Swing for the fences at BetMGM by boosting your next same-game parlay. Add an MLB same-game parlay wager to your bet slip and activate your Parlay Boost token. If your bet with the token applied hits, you'll get a bigger payout. Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker here for BetMGM, and now is the perfect time to try a Boost token. Your BetMGM parlay can include bets on the money line, run line, total, and much more. Plus, make sure to check out signature bets for this baseball season, where you can wager on fun props and scenarios for each game. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your same-game parlay boost token and get a larger payout with a winning MLB wager. Make all 9 innings even more exciting with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. North Carolina only. Existing customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards or non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Bit of schedule coming up for you. We're talking and taking The Drive, this show, out for a drive. We'll be broadcasting live tomorrow from the newly opened Top Golf in Durham. So we'll be talking sports from one of their 100-plus climate-controlled hitting bays from 3 to 6. That's the time for this show. And we'll be taking in all that Top Golf has to offer. That means the golf, the interactive games, the chef-driven menu, the fun, the good times had by all. Join us Friday for some fun at Top Golf's third location in North Carolina, Top Golf Durham at 4901 Top Golf Way. Do you know what I think they missed an opportunity on? The address is 4901 Top Golf Way.
Top Golf Drive.
Should it not be Top Golf Drive?
Maybe.
I mean, that's just, it's right there, right? That's the low-hanging fruit, right? Top Golf Way. Top Golf Drive? Seems like it Fairway, maybe. Top Golf Fairway?
I see what you did.
That would have worked. It's a little bit more off the beaten path. Also, everybody, if you want to win something, here's your chance to see the Storm Surge in person. It's time soon. At about 4 o'clock, it'll be time. To qualify someone for our 10K playoff payout.
Let's go.
It'll be a call-in to qualified deal. And if you do, you'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. We did that not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Gave away a whole bunch of cool stuff. Not $10,000, but hey.
Someone did win $10,000 last year.
Very true.
Just letting you know.
Cool opportunity for you. And listen tomorrow for another chance. So we have a chance today. We have a chance tomorrow. We have chances all over the place. Now let's talk Panthers. The NFL draft has passed, and do you know what happens right after every draft, every offseason interaction, every recruiting signing day in college?
We overreact.
We do that every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Wednesday, like every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's optimism goes through the roof.
Sure.
Every team right now is convincing themselves they won the draft. Every single one.
We got better tonight.
You're darn right. Well, guess what? Panthers still have a lot of work left to do. The Panthers have the longest odds to win the Super Bowl right now. That's including being updated after the draft. They are the least likely when it comes to the odds at DraftKings Sportsbook to win the Super Bowl. Even with Xavier Legette, who everybody seems excited about. Even with Deontay Johnson, the trade that was undoubtedly a home run trade. Even with $150+ million in new offensive linemen and Jadeveon Clowney and a new vibe from David Tepper that we talked about at the draft, which seems like he was at least a little bit more hands-off. Even with all of that, new coach, new GM, bringing a whole bunch of new players in, they are still the biggest underdog in the league to win the Super Bowl. Optimism is great. Are they moving in the right direction? I believe so. But there's still work to be done. So what do they need to do? The to-do list is, I would say, for sure shorter, which is progress, right? That's big. My mom growing up, anytime like me or my brother were sick, she was big on just like, even if you're feeling 0.0001% better, tell me, because it's all about progress, right? When you're getting better, 1% better, you're fine, Mom. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it just makes your brain like trick you into feeling better as soon as you say you're feeling better, even if it's just 0.001%. So are the Panthers better now than they were 3 months ago? Yes.
Yeah.
0.0001? Maybe, but they're getting better.
Better.
They're getting better. Incremental, day over day, little by little, they're getting better.
I feel great about playing football right now.
Right now, says Dave Canales. Maybe he should wind it back and go, let me take care of these 4 or 5 things, then I feel great about playing football.
Well, he said right now, let's see in October.
Exactly. That's true, too. I felt great in April. I felt great playing football. Not as much week 9. Here's the to-do list I have. I've done top 3, okay, because I don't want to get into all of them. Figure out center. It's really the only offensive line position where they haven't made a big dramatic statement, right? Taylor Moton on the right tackle, veteran. He's making a boatload of money. Left tackle, Ike Ekwonu, unproven youngster, highly drafted, though, very invested in. They used a top 10 pick on him. They have $100 million in Robert Hunt, one of their guards that they signed this offseason, $100 million 5-year deal, and $53 million over 4 years in Damian Lewis at the other guard. And then there's center. Guess what their plan is at center? Find one of the guys that was playing another position last year and see if it works. Austin Corbett's going to get the first run at it. Brady Christensen is expected to be a backup. And do you know why I put this at number 1 on the to-do list, which is quickly figure out if it's Corbett. If it's not quickly, this is one where you want to fail fast if you're going to fail, right? Get him in there and see if it's going to work. If not, fail fast so you can try someone else in that role, because that's a quick way to ruin an offense, right? That used to – My college coach used to say this about quarterbacks, was we don't know how good anyone else is if you're bad, right? So if you can't do your job at quarterback, we can't even evaluate what anyone else is doing because the whole offense comes to a halt. That was his justification for not giving guys reps. It would be like, can't put you in there. Can't evaluate anyone when you're in there. Center's the same way, right? And usually a center is making checks and is very important mentally on the offensive line. So if they're making bad decisions, bad snaps, bad blocks, if they're doing anything below replacement level, right, at least middle of the road, it's going to be a long season. Even if your wide receivers are better and your edges are better on the offensive line and your quarterback improves and your running back is better with Jonathan Brooks, even if all of that is better, if the center's bad, you still won't even recognize it. What a tease this is. Did you just get a notification from ESPN?
No, I did not.
I just got a notification on my phone, and I try not to look at it, but I glanced at it, and that was the worst way to do it. Rod Brind'Amour eyeing new deal.
Okay.
That's the headline that just popped up on my phone. Is a notification, breaking news. That's not breaking news. And of course, my glance as I'm like, oh, don't look at it. You're on air. I thought it said signing new deal. So I went to, fire the, and then, of course, I double-checked and went, never mind. Back to the Panthers. Dirty pool by ESPN. Another thing on their to-do list. Corner. Is it Stephon Gilmore? If so, how? You got to do some cap gymnastics to find the room for him. But who do you trust at depth corner, right? Right now, there's Dane Jackson, there's Troy Hill in the slot, and you obviously have J.C. Horn. You're going to need depth. Corner is a position. Best case scenario, you need 3 or 4 games of a replacement in there. Who's your depth corner? You know who I love as a depth corner? Dane Jackson, who's a starting corner right now. Mm-hmm. Who can you bring in that'll push Dane Jackson to depth corner? Stephon Gilmore might be that guy. He might not be that guy. You might not be able to afford him. You might think a 30-something-year-old player on the back end of his career doesn't fit what you're trying to build as far as youthful core. Whatever it is, you need another corner you trust. And you passed on Cooper DeJean and Kool-Aid McKinstry in the second round. Not saying that was a bad move. You got a ton for that pick. But still, Cooper DeJean was a projected mid-first. You could have got him, darn near mid-second, and you passed on it. Don't make corner the position that holds you back, because then everybody's going to go, could have had Kool-Aid McKinstry. Could have had Cooper DeJean. Lastly, interior defensive line.
Really?
They rotate guys through a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Brown, A'Shawn Robinson, I think will play the most. But you need 1 or 2 more if you want to rotate guys through. If one of I believe Evero, their defensive coordinator, does believe this kind of strategy. If one of your deals is Derek Brown with fresher legs than the offensive lineman in the fourth quarter is a game wrecker and maybe a game winner on some crucial downs, you need some guys to take some snaps second and third quarter, right? I'm not saying a ton, but again, interior defensive line for that particular defense they play is pretty darn important, so you don't want to have to mask them for 20 to 25 snaps.
Well, I know they got, like you said, Robinson, Derek Brown, but Shai Tuttle coming back, LeBrian Ray's coming back, and they just drafted Cremedi in the 6th round.
I don't love depending on 6th rounders. If that's another one where, like, if he shows up at camp and you're like, oh, we can trust him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't pass on money on lotto tickets. 6th round picks, though, expecting them to play much more than special teams is a dangerous game. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, it feels like there's always a couple veteran interior defensive linemen out there just waiting for contracts. And I don't know what it is about that position, because it is a position of need and a position of importance. But if the Panthers can get one on a good deal, I think that's something they should explore on their to-do list. And also, it probably shows this. The fact that interior defensive lineman is on the list probably shows you did some good things with some other positions, right? I don't know how much more you have to do at wide receiver. I don't know if there's anything you can do or expect to do at running back. If you start checking those things off, suddenly it's like, you know what? Yeah, depth, interior defensive line. Maybe we do look there. Could go safety as well, but I only had 3 spots. Could go safety as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, coming up at 4, I mentioned this not long ago, but we have our 10K playoff payout. It's your chance to see the Storm Surge in person. It's time to qualify for our 10K playoff payout. That'll be at 4 o'clock. You'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Driven by your Carolina Ford dealer for great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. We spoke earlier about the North Carolina lawmakers proposing, or I should say filing a bill. I always want to, I'm a words guy. I'm always looking to say things in different ways, but sometimes when you're talking about like lawmakers and stuff, you do have to actually bring the notes up and use the proper terms. North Carolina lawmakers are filing a bill or have filed a bill, these being Republican House members, that would regulate the scheduling of UNC and NC State across a couple different sports. And that is fascinating to me. The reporting was done. You can find the article on WRAL.com by Brian Murphy, friend of the show. And we're going to work to get him actually on the show here in the next few minutes to talk about the reporting and kind of the impact he sees this decision perhaps having on sports in our state. But shameless self-promotion. Brian and I have a podcast out that we put out a few weeks ago, whatever, maybe a month ago now, on the legal sports gambling in the state of North Carolina and how it became legal. And it's a 4-episode kind of mini-series podcast, but it has audio and quotes and interviews from all over the lawmakers, from gamblers and everyone from a bunch of different areas. And Brian and I host it. So I encourage you all to go check that out. You can find it everywhere podcasts can be found. It is called A Brief History of Triangle Sports, on legal sports gambling in North Carolina. There you go. If you Google that, it should pop up, and you should be able to check it out. And I'll give a hat tip before we get him on the line here. I'll give a hat tip to Brian because he did most of the research on that. I got to be a passenger and then get my name on the pod and get to do all the cool things. Dennis looks like he's working to get him on air. So with that being said, we can talk a little fan etiquette. The Rangers are going to be coming to PNC Arena, okay? And the Canes are going to be going up to MSG. And for some reason, the New York teams, specifically the Rangers when it comes to hockey, right? Islanders, they're out on Long Island. It's a little bit different deal. They bring out interesting emotions in fans in other markets, right? If there's a bunch of Ranger fans in your home arena, people get mad. If there's a bunch of Knicks fans in your home arena, people get mad. Here's the way I look at it. Don't let them, right? Here's the way I look at it. If you're worried about Rangers fans coming and filling up PNC, if you have tickets, go. Wear your red, right? Wear your gear. If you don't, I don't know if you can complain. We'll talk about that more later on. Right now, I'm told Brian Murphy, WRAL investigative reporter, is connecting with us. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes that made this possible. Brian, appreciate you. There you go. We even have you on film or on a camera if you are watching on one of our video live streams. Brian, appreciate you for taking the time. Let's start with kind of the basics of it. This bill that's been proposed by lawmakers, diving into the scheduling of athletic events for state schools, like what all does it entail and what does it mean?
Yeah, this was kind of expected. I mean, Jason Saint's been talking about this over the break here as a way of kind of keeping that money in the state, particularly when you add schools from California. He was particularly aggrieved about that. This would require UNC and NC State to not only play each other at least once a year in football, men's basketball, women's basketball, which isn't a problem now that they're in the same league. But if they were not in the same league, could be an issue. But it would also require both those schools, both UNC and NC State, to play at least one home or away game against Appalachian State, East Carolina, as well as UNC Charlotte in football, men's and women's basketball as well. And then it requires over a 6-year period for them to play home and away games against each of those schools. So it really does get into the minutia of scheduling. I don't know how realistic passage is, but I think this is a messaging bill from lawmakers that say, hey, you guys need to play each other more often.
To me, there's kind of two parts to this. One is the one you started with, which is NC State and UNC being required to play each other every year. That's an unnecessary bill if they're in the ACC together. So is this in preparation for maybe expecting one of them or both of them to go in different directions?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken with lawmakers a lot about, conference realignment and what they expect to happen or what they think should happen. And almost everyone, unanimously, they think NC State and UNC should remain in the same conference. Again, we don't know if that's going to be possible or we don't know how likely that is. We don't know if either of these teams are even going to leave the ACC at some point. But I do think they've made it clear they want those schools, if they're not in the same conference, to be playing each other every single year. They are, the legislature, people will say, why is the legislature getting involved? They've invested billions of dollars, quite frankly, in both of those universities. They've invested billions in the whole university system. But those two schools in particular get a lot of money, a lot of funding, a lot of support from the state, and they want to make sure both of their athletic departments are doing well.
Brian Murphy, WRAL Sports investigative reporter, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Is this putting the wants and kind of benefit and raising of the smaller programs as a priority, maybe ahead of NC State and UNC, who might use that non-conference schedule in other ways to benefit their program?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, and this is one of the big things about the legislature, right? Every county gets representation. So there are plenty of people who want to see Appalachian State or Charlotte or East Carolina taken care of. And they have just as much sway in many cases as the people representing Chapel Hill and NC and Raleigh do. Mm-hmm. In a lot of cases, the people representing those parts of the state are Republicans, and the people representing Chapel Hill and Raleigh are Democrats, and they have less say. So Jason Sane, who's one of the sponsors on this bill, is a Charlotte guy. There's a couple App State guys on this bill. So yeah, they're definitely looking out for number one. I think they say, why are you going to play? I'm trying to think of a team, South Alabama. Mm-hmm. Why are you going to play Troy when you could just play Charlotte or App State? I mean, the part I don't
because
they say
App State might be too good.
Well, right. They think fans want to see it, and it's true. Those games generate much more fan interest than a game against Toledo or Miami of Ohio or Troy. But those are also no-win games for NC State and UNC. If UNC loses to East Carolina, which they have, they get pilloried for it. But if they beat East Carolina, okay, well, you're supposed to beat East Carolina. Like, it's kind of a no-win situation. They got to hear about it for 365 days. If they lose to Miami of Ohio or they lose to Tulane, you don't have to hear about it all the time.
And it could also preclude them maybe from playing another Power 5 opponent in an era where resumes and big wins matter so much for selection committees and playoff appearances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little less sympathetic to that because there's obviously 3 or 4 non-conference games. I mean, NC State and Carolina are not like, some of the other teams in the ACC that they have to play an SEC rival, on the last game of the season. It really limits, the number of non-conference opportunities they have. NC State and UNC have 4 games to play with all year, 4 non-conference games to play with every year. They can play a Power 5. You can play 2 Power 5s, quite frankly. Maybe an FCS school, and then still have room on their schedule for one of these G5s. Of course, and you mentioned it, App State, ECU, and Charlotte, not as much, but App State and ECU can beat them. Mm-hmm. Those are games that you might lose, and that really, that's not how you want to build your schedule with a potential loss to a G5 team.
This is half joking, but maybe not. Right, there's always going to be a little pushback when lawmakers kind of stick their nose in sports, and it's, don't you have something better? Should we be looking at like fandoms before we cast votes? Because hey, I need to make sure my lawmakers are defending my schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the regionality of where people come from. You know, is supposed to take care of that. I mean, Chapel Hill, Raleigh, they have people defending their interests. But I mean, this comes up a lot, right? We've talked about the Board of Governors and who's being appointed to the Board of Governors, and are there more NC State people than UNC people, and what are they going to do if realignment does come around and UNC wants to leave? Are they going to be more loyal to NC State? So I mean, certainly in a state like this where there's a lot of different colleges, people have gone to many different schools, they have different allegiances and alliances. I mean, you know, that becomes a factor. And to say it's not a factor, I think would be naive.
You got to grab that? Is that
I don't. I'm
breaking
okay.
news? It's like when Adam Schefter is on NFL Live, and all of a sudden he's getting news about a trade. Last one before we let you go, and this one I actually skipped over my notes, but I want to see if you've done the background on it. Do other states have rules like this, or is North Carolina kind of breaking ground on this? I think of it like the cast of Friends. Like, they negotiate everything as a unit to make sure everybody is getting the same. Like, do other states operate this way with their state schools and their athletic programs?
You know, I haven't dug into it, but I know that there's been some, you know, especially like with some of these rivalries breaking apart because of conference realignment. There's been talk that like Washington and Washington State have to play every year, or Oregon and Oregon State. Certainly, you know, Texas and Texas A&M stopped playing and haven't really renewed that. That's going to be renewed now that they're both in the SEC. But as far as playing like G5s or lower division teams, I can't think of an example where that's happened. You know, I think Louisville and Kentucky, some of those, you know, teams in the same state always play each other, and I don't know how much of that's dictated by lawmakers. But as far as having to play like a G5 team, I'm not sure that exists anywhere.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you a bunch, Brian, for jumping on, and we'll keep following along on WRAL.
All right, Tim. Thanks a lot.
Once again, you can check out the article from Brian Murphy on WRAL.com. WRAL Sports Fan. It's very well reported on, so you can get all the nuance for yourself in the article. But there he was telling us a little bit more insight into it on the Heistra Automotive Group hotline. Right now, I want to tell you about my friends at Window Nation. Tim Donnelly here for Window Nation. It's a critical time to check the status of your home's windows. Finally, have you had enough of the frigid drafts coming through your windows, or, depending on the day, it's that time of year, the hot, sticky air coming in through your windows, even when they're supposed to be shut, right? The sealing, the caulking, something has failed. Window Nation can come in and fix all of that. They have some great deals going on right now for the month of May, and they are just for the month of May. So there is an expiration date on some of these deals that you want to go ahead and get on your docket. Also, free, no obligation quote. They will come to your house. They will look at your windows. They will show you where they are strong, where they are not, where they are helping your energy bill, where they are hurting your energy bill. It is very kind of black and white. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION. Get it set up. A free, no obligation quote and demonstration. 866-90-NATION. Or you can visit them online at windownation.com to learn more and schedule that no obligation quote. windownation.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, football at 4. Oh, wait a second. You're right. We need to get our sometimes Dennis speaks just in my headphones and then I respond to him. So when I go like, wait a minute, you're right. That's a response to Dennis. Here's your chance to see the Storm Surge in person. It's time to qualify for our 10K playoff payout right now. Be caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. You'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Caller number 9 right now. Listen tomorrow again for another chance to be a part of the 10K playoff payout. All of this driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today. We're going to qualify someone for a shot at 10K coming up next. Get those calls in now.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
Wow. I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Take a look at the newly opened Topgolf in Durham, the first ever Topgolf and Research Triangle. We're talking over 100 climate-controlled hitting bays spanning 3 levels. There's also a lot that's not golf. Interactive games, a chef-driven menu. Don't miss the fan-favorite injectable donut holes, handcrafted cocktails, plenty of TVs for playoff watching and more, and music. Really something for everyone. Check out half-off gameplay every Tuesday. Be one of the first to check out the first Triangle Topgolf, 4901 Topgolf Way in Durham.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 919-995-0000. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Yes, it is hot out there. A high of 90 degrees this afternoon. We have yet to hit 90, and we're likely to see it this afternoon, officially at RDU. 63 overnight tonight, and tomorrow's high 91. After that, we're looking at cooler temperatures this weekend, but a good chance of showers and storms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 322 points to 38,225. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games coming to Charlotte this June. North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at BodyArmorStateGames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to qualify someone for our 10K playoff payout. Keith in Fuquay, you are on the line. It is your chance to qualify for our 10K playoff payout, which means you could get playoff tickets. You could win a share of $10,000. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. The only thing you have to do is answer one question correctly, okay?
All right.
All right. I'm not trying to trick you or anything. Just answer the question. Who are the Carolina Hurricanes playing in the second round of the playoffs?
The Rangers.
Ding, ding, ding. You are qualified, my friend. Congratulations, Keith.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. I said it was one question, and I was not trying to trick you. You are qualified. All you have to do is hang out on the line, and Dennis will get some info that he needs and pass some info along to you. Sound good?
Sure.
All right. Everybody else out there, you saw how easy it is. Listen tomorrow for another chance to be a part of the 10K playoff payout, driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today. It's very fun for me to just throw out a question like that and go, bada boom, you're in. Maybe one just you may not even know you may have just helped yourself win $10,000. Think about that. Football at 4. Let's jump into it.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
Dan Morgan didn't do everything perfectly during the draft, but you have to acknowledge this. He showed the rookie flashes. Dan Morgan just finished his first draft season as an NFL GM. Hopefully he's somewhere with his feet up with a drink in his hand, right? There's a certain level of, I'm sure, relief. But he was a rookie GM. Rookie mistakes are going to happen, but you need the flashes, right? We've heard it. Well, let's use quarterbacks as the example, right? Young quarterback, maybe highly drafted, throws an interception on first down, and the color commentator, maybe it's Tony Romo, maybe it's Troy Aikman, maybe it's whoever, jumps in and goes, that's just a rookie mistake. He'll learn on first down, you can throw it away and live to play on second, or eat it, take the sack, and live to play on second down. Didn't have to do that right there. And even the good rookies make those mistakes, right? Even the ones that go on to be superstars make those mistakes. But the thing you're also looking for are the flashes, right? The plays where they make the throw to win the game, the plays where they show the moxie, the intelligence, the everything you need to be a great quarterback. If you're showing those flashes, you'll put up with the interceptions. Dan Morgan, I did not agree with everything he did in the draft. I don't know why you would trade up in the second round for a running back in a league that keeps telling us over and over and over again to devalue the running back. I don't agree with every decision, but I wanted to give you an example of a flash. Of the throw across your body, running to your left to a wide receiver, running away from you on the opposite side of the field on a rope, 40-yard touchdown that makes you think, this guy might be something long-term. We may have found our guy. Dan Morgan, this is not an exaggeration, according to ESPN, basically got the biggest second-day fleecing in a trade in at least the last 6 drafts. And when I say that, I mean he didn't get fleeced. He did the fleecing. He was not the fleecee. He was the fleecer. ESPN's Seth Walder, who's one of their football reporters and dives into the numbers quite a bit, tweeted this out. The Rams trade up for Braden Fiske was the most expensive day 2 overpay of at least the last 6 drafts, according to ESPN's draft pick valuations. Now, for those of you that don't know the trade, the Rams traded pick number 52, which is a second rounder, pick number 155, which was a mid to late round pick, and a 2025 second round pick, all to Carolina for pick 39. That's a lot. That is according to the chart, the biggest overpay for a second round pick, for a day 2 pick, so second or third, in the last 6 drafts minimum. And it gets better the more you think about it. Do you know why? Because it was their second pick they came into the second round with, right? They had the 33rd. They made that pick. They actually traded up to 32 to make that pick. Traded away their second best second rounder at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of the draft, for the biggest haul for a day 2 pick in the last 6 drafts.
This is the Brian Burns trade that they got from the Giants.
The 39th pick they got in return, in addition to a second rounder next year.
So that's what they turned it into, yeah.
So how about that? Now, once he got down to pick 52, he did trade back up to 46, and that's kind of where I'm going, like, he'll learn. You don't have to trade up for a running back. But the flash of greatness was there. And by the way, the Rams, like, part of being a GM is knowing your audience, right? Think about it like your fantasy league. One of your buddies is in a fantasy league, let's say here in the Triangle. You're playing fantasy football. Okay, and stick with me on the analogy. I'm not actually telling you about my fantasy football team. One of your buddies is from Dallas, but moved up here and joined you and all your Panther friends in a league. And guess what his team name is? Dallas Cowboys for life. And guess what his vanity license plate says? Cowboys fan. And he wears the Tony Romo jersey everywhere he goes. Well, when you draft CeeDee Lamb and you're thinking about trading him, who should you approach first? The Dallas friend, right? So if Dan Morgan wants to trade out of 39 and he's looking for where can I get the most draft capital in return, who should he go to? The team that has become kind of known for the phrase, bleep them picks. The Rams would much rather have one quality player than a whole bunch of picks. And we know that because, well, this was the first time drafting in the first round in like 8 years. They don't traditionally hoard picks. They will trade picks. So if I'm looking to gain picks, I call them up and go, hey, I know you don't like picks. Let me take a few of those off your hands. You don't need a second rounder next year. You don't even like second rounders. Send them over here. I don't even know why I like second rounders. Do this, but it's the old Moneyball. Do this before I change my mind. Say yes. They approached the right team, the Rams, team that doesn't value picks as high as everyone else, made the deal happen, and it just so happened to be the biggest overpay for a second-day pick in the last 6 drafts. You know what I like even more about it? I bet you the Panthers didn't know that. They just liked the package and accepted it. Stumbled into, was that the biggest in the last 6 drafts at least? Knew I liked that. Credit to him. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, for my partners at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. More specifically, I want to tell you about the Omega Boutique located within Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Walk in the doors, left. You just walk straight left. There's this beautiful, bright, white room. You go in, Speedmasters on the right. Speedmasters are maybe the most iconic watch in all of kind of a timepiece history. It's the moon watch. It's the watch the astronauts wear on the moon. They're all issued them because the NASA official watch is the Speedmaster. There's the Seamaster located in the case right next to it. Seamaster's been made famous by a very, very mysterious movie Spy, right? And there's some iconic bezels and dials that go along with that history. The DeVille, if you're looking for a dress watch. The Constellation, if you're a little bit more simplistic in your dial likes and dislikes. I'm a big Speedmaster fan. I like the chronographs. I like the 3 little dials in the back. It's a personal thing, but there's only one way you're going to know your personal thing. Which ones you like? It's to go to Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located inside their Raleigh's Village District location. Go all the way to the left, the Omega Boutique, which is the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. It is fairly brand new, just a couple months old. I encourage you to go check it out. Make sure they know we sent you when you stop by. Let them know Tim from 99.9 The Fan told you what's what. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Canes Cup check-in. Adam Gold, who did he hear from today on the Canes playoff run? Stick around.
Canes fans, Cane on.
Let's go, Canes!
Let's go, Canes!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go, Hurricanes!
Go, Canes!
Let's go, Canes!
Gets it with a second try. Swim against it. They score!
Rebound score, Seth Jarvis.
What a save by Anderson!
Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Get loud for me.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone, available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream, available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROLL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROLL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROLL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Had to wait for the beat to drop on the rejoin music. Those of you on YouTube that couldn't hear it, tough. Here's the deal. It's time for the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar and official member of the Canes Bar Network. Adam Gold hosts the Adam Gold Show directly before this one, weekdays on 99.9 The Fan, was joined by Sarah Sivian, Bleacher Report. And the name of the podcast, Dennis, is that she also works on?
A Too Many Men podcast?
Too Many Men podcast. She obviously covers the NHL. She's looking to talk Canes with Adam. Here's part of that conversation.
When I look at this series, I almost see like the identical team. Like both teams have elite special teams. You know, the Hurricanes were second best power play, best penalty kill. I think the Rangers were top 3 in both as well during the season. They both probably were. I mean, the Rangers definitely weren't as good 5-on-5 this year as they have in the past. And Carolina wasn't as good. They're good, but not as good as they used to be 5-on-5. And they weren't great 5-on-5 in the Islanders series. Both teams have good goaltending. I realize we have Igor Shesterkin versus Freddie Anderson. People can make what of that they want. Both teams have elite mobile defense that jump up in the offense. I see two teams that are almost identical.
I know. It really is Shesterkin versus Canes 5-on-5. Whoever wins the 5-on-5 battle, is going to win this series.
Yeah.
But the Rangers really, really struggled at 5-on-5 during the regular season, and that's why the Canes are betting favorites.
Yeah.
At the same time, it is like they have Igor Shesterkin in their back pocket, and he's been one of the strongest goalies of the postseason so far. But at the same time, it's so interesting. These teams are coming off series against like the worst playoff teams in the Islanders and the Capitals. So it's like there's nothing to really even go off of in terms of postseason dominance. So it really is like they're starting the postseason in round 2.
Sarah Sivian is joining us. Too Many Men, the podcast. I was listening this morning, and I know it was Shayna Goldman who, I guess she started her career really covering the Rangers. Now, she says, and she's right, I think, that the Hurricanes are going to have to play better than they did at 5-on-5 to have a chance. I think the Rangers just put it in neutral to beat the Capitals. Washington was never going to bother them at all in that series. But I think she's right. I know you guys talked about it. Is there a key player for you?
I mean, Svechnikov has been awesome, and if he can continue that, that's going to be just an X factor. Obviously, you'd like to see Jake Gensel go back to the tear that he was on before. Seth Jarvis is just an absolute boss. But then, are the Hurricanes going to be able to solve Chris Kreider on the power play, like net front? Because that's where those garbage goals come in, and they change the complexion of a series.
That's what happened. If you go back to 2022, the Rangers were 7 of their last 16 on the power play in winning 4 out of 5 games 3 through 7. That was the difference in the series. The Rangers power play went to a new level after Carolina took the first 2 games of that series. I wish you were here, Sarah, for the Seth Jarvis experience.
I know.
It is like nothing we have seen in terms of a personality and a player combined.
It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the exact opposite of like the hell the Hurricanes fans had been put through for the decade where they weren't making the playoffs.
Right.
It's like this guy comes in, he seems effortless. He's not, right? Like he's done the hard work that Rod Brind'Amour needed him to do on defense to make the team, but it's like catharsis where now he has this hilarious personality, and he's also a clutch goal scorer.
Mm-hmm. He's fearless. He throws his. He is. I call him little dog who thinks he's a big dog. Right? He is the terrier that you just can't. You can't. He's in your face all the time, and he's bringing personalities out of other players too. He is turning Jack Drury into a personality. And Jack's very, very stoic, man. He grew up in a pro environment. He's very, very guarded, but Seth brings him out. It is absolutely awesome. And you're right about Andre. Andre was, I think, the best forward right in front of Seth for Carolina in the first 5 games of the playoffs. If that continues, if Andre has a big playoffs, I think the Hurricanes are going to play a lot of playoff games, so should be a blast.
Once again, that was Adam Gold, joined by Sarah Sivian, Bleacher Report, to talk Canes as part of the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan, served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar, official member of the Canes Bar Network. Now it's time for us to talk Canes with our weekly edition of Hurri-Cons and Cons. Confidence and concerns. Hurri-Confidence and Hurri-Concerns, because I'm a fan of a good pun. The way this works, each of us, Dennis and I, name what we are most confident in and what we are most concerned about when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes. And then we update the Hurri-Confidence Meter to make sure that we are on the same page. As always, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You always say bad news. We start with the concerns. I'll get it started.
All right.
I think I'm the only one still left on this island. I think at one point it was a populated island, but he has proved through 5 games not to do that. I'm worried they're overworking Freddie. I'm a little concerned they're overworking.
You are very concerned on this.
If goalies could just play every game, goalies would play every game. I understand that he's played great. He was one of my 3 stars. He's every week, every game. I come in here post game and I'm like, well, last night wasn't the night he got tired. I hope he doesn't get tired. I'm a little worried, especially because once you play all 5 games in the first round, you're kind of committed to just a massive workload. It'd be weird to start mixing in Pyotr Kochetkov more than absolutely necessary now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it's a concern I can't get out of my head. Freddie earlier today was asked about playing every game after coming back from the blood clotting issue. And this is what he said.
I think I'm just having fun with it. Just being grateful to be back has fueled me a lot. You go through a tough time when you sit out for that long and not being able to be in the room with the guys. Obviously that has really been eye-opening, and I've been enjoying every second of it.
As he should. Again, I think I'm alone on the island, and I'm not rooting against it. I'm just concerned, and I can't turn it off. I've tried. Dennis, what are you concerned about?
My concern...
Also, just on the record, that is a me concern. Dennis is not concerned with it.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with it. My concern, actually, a couple trends we've seen here with special teams for the Carolina Hurricanes. Their power play has been great in the play on the first round against the Islanders. They're 33%.
This is an interesting way to start a concern.
Penalty kill, though. The penalty kill, only 72% against the Islanders, who had a dreadful power play during the regular season. The Canes had the best PK in the entire regular season, yet...
Who was a part of that, though?
Jesper Fast.
There you go.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe
that's it.
It could also be...
PK has not been up to level. Now,
Yeah.
power play... Now, I'm sorry to say, in the playoffs, everything's elevated a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, you would hope that your PK would translate into the playoffs. I'm not saying it can't rebound and be above 80% against the Rangers, but you can't be 72% on your PK and win the series against the Rangers unless you take 0 penalties.
Which I don't see happening.
Which I don't see happening at all.
The only thing I'll push back on that is 5 games is such a small sample size. I mean, if you get 2 fluky goals, all of a sudden your percentage drops a ton.
There's only one power play goal I could think that was kind of sort of fluky. It was the Anders Lee goal where it went off Brady Shea's skate and then in when Brady Shea got hurt back in game 2. That's the only fluky one I could really think of.
Yeah, you're right. Off the top of my head, I can't. It's just maybe I'm with you. Let's get to confidence. This is more fun. The confidence, and this is something we at a previous job, we had something, we called it a Post Malone topic.
Okay.
Because there was a story about Post Malone playing beer pong with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
All right.
And I was producing, so this was years ago, and the host wanted to talk about this story, And every day on the show, we'd had it at like the end of a segment. And whatever we were talking about before ran long, and we never got to Post Malone. And every day he'd be like, oh, I want to put the Post Malone thing in here. So we started calling. Every time we had something that we wanted to talk about in like 2 or 3 days, we didn't get it into the show, we called it a Post Malone. My confidence is a Post Malone. We've been wanting to talk about this kind of more in depth for a couple of days now, and it's just we've struggled to get there. I'm confident that the role players and the depth players stepped up against the Islanders. Steph Nason, 3 goals, all in his office, as they say, right? All kind of important goals, but also all goals that, speaking of fluke, they didn't seem fluky, right? They seemed repeatable. They seemed like goals that you can expect to get again. So Steph Nason, koozie with the opener and the closer, right?
One in bookend of the series.
The series opener, like a minute in, where it was like, this team is awesome. And then also the penalty shot that also took a full minute.
Yeah.
Jack Drury. I'm going to steal some of Dennis's Jack Drury kind of hype. 3 points, but I'm going to add this one: face-off wins. Obviously the Canes had their face-off struggles. When you can remember multiple face-off wins by Jack Drury because of how important they were and how clutch they were and at what point in the game they came in, that's very important for a guy that at times wasn't playing a whole bunch of minutes in this series. So like, I don't want to call them like, scrubs or anything like that. Just that next tier that doesn't have their picture on posters on giant walls outside PNC. That next group played well against the Islanders, and I think that's really, really important in postseason play to have guys that step up and maybe play above what they're traditionally used to playing. And we've been wanting to have that conversation for like 3 days, and it just kept getting like, oh, we talked about that other thing too long. Oh, there was some breaking news that pushed it. Oh, we got Kevin Keats stopped by, and we got Coach Keats on. It's like there's just always these reasons not to. So I'm glad I was able to shoehorn that in as my confidence.
So mine is very similar to yours. I know I mentioned that to you a couple days ago. Mine is just the fact that you got contributions throughout your entire lineup.
Similar.
So it's so similar so that the depth guys, yes, they are contributing, but there have been times where your stars, when they needed to be, shined.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that if you're going to, again, win in the playoffs, you have to have all of it. It's great that you get Nason scoring 3, Jack Drury getting points at key times in games, game-winning goal, had the assist on the game-winning goal back in Game 2 on the comeback on Jordan Martinook's goal. So all these little things that the quote-unquote depth guys are doing, even Dmitry Orlov chipping in.
Mm-hmm.
But you have seen Svetch play awesome. Jarvis was awesome. Aho was really good. Jake Gensel was good, but you can know there's another level. Martin Nate just had like a quiet 5 points in the series, by the way. It's like, oh
possible.
yeah, it's like, hey, what did Nate just do? Oh yeah, he had 5 points in the series. It's so you're seeing everyone contribute up and down the lineup at different points, which I think is the biggest thing.
I was talking with somebody about Nate just the other day. He kind of this series played well when everyone else was kind of in a little dip.
Mm-hmm.
And so like all the fun, like boom, goal, all this, like the big stuff, he was kind of not in that. But when, like, to stop the bleeding, he was there, right? Like his contributions came when kind of everyone else was in a dip. So he's a good one to bring up also. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's confidence and concerns. If you have confidence and concerns, we'd love to hear them. You can either post them on YouTube to our comments, 99.9 The Fan. You can send them to us on Twitter at 99.9 The Fan or at Donnelly Sports or at The Fan Rookie. That's mine and Dennis's handle. Let's update the Hurri-Confidence Meter. We have to come up with a new name for this. Not for the Hurri-Confidence Meter, but for what we're doing to it. Because every week for the last like month and a half, I have said, let's update the Hurri-Confidence Meter. And there's no update. It's in the exact same place that it's been.
The update is there is no update.
The update is nothing has changed at all in our confidence. For those of you that aren't watching on one of our video options, YouTube, WRAL Sports Fan video stream, or anything like that, I'll describe it to you. Our Hurri-Confidence Meter, which was designed to fluctuate, right? It was designed to, on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, be able to show what we're worried about and everything else. About the trade deadline, when we were already confident in what the Hurricanes were bringing to the table, and they went out and made the all-in move to get Jake Gensel on a rental. They brought in Evgeny Kuznetsov, which I don't think many people saw coming at all. Right around the same time Freddie was getting healthy, like right around there, we moved it all the way to plan the parade. That is as far to the positive side of the Hurri-Confidence Meter as we can go, and it really hasn't moved. It's just as far confident as we can be. And I'll tell you this right now, a 4-1 win in the first round is not going to temper my hype and enthusiasm and confidence. The Rangers are a very good team, right? Am I as confident in the Canes beating the Rangers as I was in them beating the Islanders? No, but it's the second round. Like I say this all the time about postseasons. You're not going to play bad teams the entire way through the postseason. At a certain point, you're going to have to start beating the other contenders. Welcome to that point, Canes. Now you have to start beating the other contenders. Same thing for the Rangers, by the way. Oh, they swept the Caps. You know who's much better than the Caps? The Carolina Hurricanes. So I'm just as confident as I was a month ago. And I don't anticipate it changing unless something very, very drastic happens in the first couple games of the Rangers series. Dennis, anything to add?
Let's plan the parade. Let's go.
Let's plan it. You have to plan it. Where are we starting?
Fayetteville Street.
I say you can't ask these questions of me because I'm the worst person with directions in the history of the world.
You need a GPS to go down the road.
It takes me like a month before I'm not GPSing to work when I move to a new place. It's that serious. It is a flaw, and I acknowledge it. However, Dennis, you're pretty good with it. People ask you where stuff is. You have directions and everything. So you're starting at Fayetteville Street.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably end there, too. I'm not entirely sure where to start, but
okay, well, we're on playing the parade.
We're going to play the parade, but it's okay. We got a couple months.
6 weeks.
Yeah, roughly about that. But I do know some ways that the state of North Carolina is better than New York City.
Which is, this is good preparation. We don't have as many months to prepare for what happens if you bump into a Rangers fan in the streets and they want to talk trash. You need to have your good-natured trash. It's all in good fun, but you need to have your ammunition. So North Carolina is better. I feel like this is a David Letterman bit. It's like, top 10 ways North Carolina is better than New York City.
No, absolutely it is.
So give us some. How is North Carolina better than New York City?
But we all know biscuits are better than bagels. Let's go to this whole week. If you're a Canes fan, no bagels, all biscuits.
What?
You're eating biscuits, no bagels. Bagels are banned right now.
I also think
bagels are banned.
It's a pure. This is an analytics play. Mm-hmm. Biscuits are a 3-meal. Useful bit of the food options. A bagel is a breakfast thing, right?
Oh, you can do you can do like a sandwich on a bagel. Like
What's a breakfast bagel?
Yeah, there's that. But you know what? Here's the thing: biscuits can be a side, and it can be like part of the main breakfast sandwich. Or something like that. There's a lot of different things you can do. You could
the advanced analytics love the biscuit.
Exactly, biscuits over bagels. Bagels are banned right now. Next thing: only allowed to eat pulled pork. Only pulled pork. Only barbecue. Sorry, not allowed to eat New York strips. You're not allowed to eat New York strips during the entire series. Once the series is over, you can go back to eating New York strip steaks if you want to, if that's your thing. But right now, it's all pulled pork, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing all things North Carolina that's better than New York City right now.
I also think that's a versatility thing.
Mm-hmm.
The barbecue, you can do something. I mean, a New York strip is a New York strip.
Yeah.
Barbecue, you can
put
eat it with a fork.
Biscuit.
You can put it on a biscuit. You can put it on a bun. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. It can be a topper on top of another bit of protein. You can throw some pork on top. There's a lot of different options.
A lot of things you can do with it. Also, no cannolis. Sorry, you can't have cannolis. Only banana pudding. Only banana pudding. No cannolis this week or the next for however long this series lasts. No cannolis, folks. If we're doing all things North Carolina, if you're a Canes fan, no cannolis.
I see. I get why you did it. I don't know I don't know if I go cannolis New York City.
No cannolis. Not allowed.
That's fine. I didn't have plans to get cannolis this week, so I think it'll be easy enough. But I don't know. I don't know if I just go straight cannolis equal New York City.
But no cannolis.
All right, that's fair. Anything else you got for us?
Yeah, and Dix Park's better than Central Park. That's all I'm going to say. Last time I checked, J. Cole brings 100,000 people to Dix Park over a weekend, not to Central Park.
It might be a J. Cole over Jay-Z week.
Exactly. North Carolina hip-hop.
Adjust your playlist accordingly.
Here's the thing. Jay-Z, one of his biggest hit songs early in his career, Dead Presidents, right? I'm gonna educate the people out there about where the state of North Carolina contributed to hip-hop here. You have struck this nerve. The song Dead Presidents by Jay-Z, produced by a man by the name of Ski Beats. Okay. Where's Ski Beats from? Greensboro, North Carolina. North Carolina guy made the beat and the sound that made Jay-Z. Not to diss Jay-Z in terms of his abilities. I don't know if we want that smoke. But the sound and on that album
in our mentions.
And on that album, he produced 4 tracks on that album, which people still say is the best album of Jay-Z's career. You know what? Man from North Carolina helped make that happen. Man from North Carolina helped put Jay-Z on the map, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, we're listening to J. Cole. We're listening to Little
apparently
Brother.
Just one specific album of Jay-Z.
Exactly. Well, he's actually produced on multiple things. Also, Ninth Wonder, part of Little Brother, and Justice League and all those guys, also produced music for both Beyonce and Jay-Z. Sorry, no Wu-Tang, no Jay-Z, all Justice League, all J. Cole. That's all you're listening to this week.
And
this whole series.
I just want to throw this out there to the Beyonce fans that are wild online and will bombard our Instagrams and everything. Beyonce is from Texas. She's a complete innocent bystander in this whole thing.
I'm just letting you know how awesome Ninth Wonder is.
There you go.
This is actually probably a Ninth Wonder beat we're listening to right now.
I'm a big J. Cole and Jay-Z fan. This week, I'll adjust the playlist accordingly.
Exactly.
I'll go J. Cole over Jay-Z this week. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here for my partners over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Go see Coach Pete's 8-foot whiteboards. He has these giant whiteboards, and he uses different colored markers to make it, quite frankly, more simple for the rest of us to understand and break down the complexities and confusion that often come with retirement planning. I've used this example in the past, but when I was learning plays in college, Coach could tell me about it. Coach could describe it to me. He could do all of that. Once he drew it on the whiteboard, oh, gotcha. That's the way that I took it in the best. Coach Pete is basically doing the same thing for you. In the meantime, he's also giving away 10 golden tickets to some of you. What that means is best-selling books, his box sets that have workbooks and DVDs, as well as a $1,000 consultation process that takes the worry out of retirement planning so you can enjoy peace of mind about your financial future. All of that can go to you. You just got to call and let them know we sent you. 800-691-3215. Say Tim from 99.9 The Fan told you to go that way. 800-691-3215, or you can text my name, that's Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. Again, that's Tim to 600-700. It's a feedback frenzy. We hear from many of you. Coming up next.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
Here comes Kuznetsov with the touch and the slowdown. Kuznetsov waiting. Varlamov comes out waiting, dusting it off. Waiting, shoots, it scores!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's back.
Words you never want to hear when it comes to plumbing. Better call NCK's Plumbing and Backflow. We're Wake County's first choice for plumbing services. We can save the day all kinds of ways. We offer water heaters, drain cleaning, backflow testing, and more. And use state-of-the-art technology to diagnose and repair existing problems. You'll want us back because we recommend the most cost-effective and energy-efficient solutions. CKSPlumbing.com. Wake County's first choice for residential and commercial plumbing services.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
It's time to shop sparkling deals. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's multi-million-dollar inventory reduction sale. Going on now. Shop jewelry up to 60% off. Diamonds, watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings are all on sale. The perfect time to shop for Mother's Day, anniversary, or engagement rings without breaking the bank. Shop the largest selection of luxury jewelry for less at Bailey's Big Sale. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pre-game money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This is the part of the show where we check in with you, the listeners. We call it a feedback frenzy. Dennis peruses the internet from all of the different channels, the social medias, the YouTube, which, by the way, this is also a call to action for you. If you want to be a part of a feedback frenzy, it's very simple. Probably the easiest way is to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan, watch some videos, click on the titles that draw your attention, right? The guests, the podcasts, and comment. And if the comment is insightful or instigating enough, you might just hear it right here on a feedback frenzy. Dennis, what do you have from the internet for us today? Or the call line or anywhere else that you might get feedback.
All right, so actually, John from Chapel Hill just called in actually during the break.
What's up, John?
And he said actually had a suggestion for the Hurri-Confidence Meter.
Since it's been stuck on all the way,
Since it's been stuck on playing the parade, we'll adjust the meter for how long the parade's going to be.
I actually like that idea. Maybe not for the meter, but for just parades in general. Like the more dominant the run through the postseason, the longer the parade gets to be.
Exactly.
So, like, if you squeaked your way out of the first round, it took 7 games to win in the second round, and you finally barely made it in winning the championship. Maybe the team you're playing against in the championship suffered a bunch of injuries, so it doesn't feel like you really won. you get like 2 blocks. You get a parade that like goes from here to the other end of the neighborhood. However, if you sweep, well, you get to go from like a couple hundred miles away. The parade is crazy. I don't hate the idea of the parade representing something.
We're going from Boone to Wilmington.
Yeah, like
that's where we're going.
And like a scenic route too. Like we're gonna make some stops. We're gonna pick up some food on the way.
We're going down the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah,
we're gonna cut over through Highlands, all the way down to Charlotte, through Gastonia, all the way up. We're gonna do all the things. All right, this one actually comes from Joseph. We had a video yesterday with the guys from the Empty Netters podcast, Dan and Chris Powers, talking about the Rangers versus the Carolina Hurricanes. And Joseph said, Ranger fan here with the utmost respect for the Canes. It's a bloodletting. Rangers in OT Game 7.
Wow.
That kind of series.
If you change one word out of that, I think it's the most exciting thing we could ask for. And that word would be change Rangers to Canes in OT.
In 7.
And then we're right there. That was in response to the guys from the Empty Netters saying they're a little worried about the overconfidence of the Rangers. So I think that's a fan going, no, I'm not confident. The Canes are legit, which I get. They're trying to appease the hockey gods, make sure they're not punished for their pride and ego.
This one comes from Germanicus.
What's up, Germanicus?
Same video, talking to the Empty Netter podcast guys. As a Chicago Blackhawks diehard, I have no dog in the fight. I just got to say, this series is going to be awesome, and there's no way to call this one no way.
I agree, and I was actually surprised that the Empty Netters guys, when they were talking, said Rangers fans are almost already talking about how electric it would be against the Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Because I'm going like, you never want to say this out loud, but Rangers-Canes feels a little Eastern Conference Finals-like to me, where whoever makes it out of that, as long as they're not too bloodied and bruised, I think will be my pick in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're very good, and it is one of the, if you're a diehard hockey fan and you appreciate like the quality of play, and maybe you're a fan of New Jersey or something, right? You're a fan of somebody who's at home watching. I do think you're looking at the Canes series going, yeah, that one's going to be really fun to watch. If I'm at home and it's on, I'm watching. What else you got for us?
All right, and this one comes from the conversation we had a couple days ago regarding the Carolina Hurricanes closing out the New York Islanders in game number 5. So this actually comes from Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, so this actually comes, because that was Tuesday. So, this comes from yesterday. This comes from D. Blout. My apologies on that. D. Blout Puck says, Isles fan here. Congrats on your win, in all caps. But I'm not sure what series you were watching with this killer instinct crap. Yes, Canes are younger and faster, but you really can't be happy with your play. I'm going to take back some comments that I made the other day. The Rangers, who I hate, are going to crush you if your play stays the same. The Panthers will crush you. This series could have easily gone to 7 against my team. That's just not that good. My GM did nothing, but yours is trying to buy a Stanley Cup. That's all you guys talk about the last month is we got this guy and that guy. And from what I saw in this series is the better team than mine, but not that much better. And then the rest of here in all caps. The third period was a joke. Your guy took the penalty shot, who should be ashamed. Pick the puck like a man, skate in and challenge the netminder. But to do that and then dance and rub it in is exactly what the Canes are all about, and the fan base is the same. This is the first time I'll be rooting for the Rangers, and then I want the Panthers to crush them. That was a lot of all caps there.
That was fantastic portrayal by you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Snaps. I know 2 things. One, they have not paid attention to all of our coverage of the first round, because I very much was saying they lacked killer instinct for most of that series until the third period. 2, he's a little upset his team lost.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
You can't walk in there saying I'm an Isles fan and then just get mad for no reason and then not have us expect it to be a little bit of, oh, your team's just got sent home.
You're
didn't
just
it?
upset Kuznetsov scored.
Yeah.
On
You're
the
upset about
penalty shot.
the bird dance? That's what you're upset about?
I said he didn't even do the bird dance.
It was Jarvis.
Jarvis
aside.
on the bench did it.
I thought he should have done the bird dance, by the
I
way.
wish he did right in front of their bench. I would have loved it.
I think
so I am all about that. All right, actually, a final one here. This goes to the conversation we had yesterday regarding the Carolina Panthers getting high marks with the draft by some people. This comes from user YE and a bunch of other characters.
All right.
So one of those
default.
Yeah, one of those default ones. Y'all are smoking crack. Just like Bryce Young was the wrong pick, this year's draft picks are the same. The Panthers will not win no more than 4 games, maybe 5 if they're lucky. Panthers are a bottom 5 team. Again, they failed to address the biggest issue, the offensive line. Young got hit way too much in his first year. 2025 will be a repeat of 2024. The Panthers will never succeed with Tepper as owner. Wake up! Apparently we're smoking crack.
Well, I say first of all, this is just us. This is just us. Second of all, 4 wins would double their win total from last year.
That's an improvement.
There's very few teams out there that'd be disappointed by doubling their win total. If they get to 5, you're talking 2.5 times. Secondly, they did improve their offensive line. They spent $153 million over the next 4 or 5 years, depending on the contract.
Yeah, a lot of people responding to this person reminded them of that.
First of all, and the comment that he's making reference to, it was ESPN that said that the Panthers had a great draft. They put 4 of their 7 picks in the top 50 picks overall, 52 overall in the draft on their top 100 list. So, again, feel free to rub it in our face if they win, I would say, 2 games again.
Mm-hmm.
If they win 4, I'm considering it an improvement. If they win 6, I'm considering it an absolute gangbusters season. I'm predicting 5. I'm just realistic with 5 is like a little more than 1 a month.
Yeah.
Think of how long we went without a win at points in time last year.
God.
I mean, it's all relative, right? Me sitting here saying the Panthers had a good draft is completely different than me saying, like, the Bills had a great draft. A great draft for the Bills does one thing. Wins them a Super Bowl. Gets them the final pieces to put it together to go win a Super Bowl. A great draft for the Panthers does one thing. Gets you an ounce better. It's all relative. It's all relative. That's it for Feedback Frenzy. We'll do that again. We mix it in occasionally, so feel free to go ahead and keep commenting on our YouTube and keep sending things to us on social media and calling in and the like. Right now, Dennis has something for you.
Dennis Cox here for my friends at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting Schools. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. I know a lot of people are waiting for their favorite hockey team to hit the ice, but while you're waiting, why don't you get outside, enjoy some of this warm weather, go down to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, just minutes away from the heart of Raleigh. It's an absolutely beautiful 65-acre setting that they have there, down there in Sanford, but it's more than just a place to shoot. It's an experience. It's a bonding time with friends and loved ones, family members. You even bring your corporate, do a company outing at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, but also they have these outdoor pavilions and an outdoor fire pit. So you can actually book in advance and book ahead of time. You can have the outdoor pavilion. So when you get done with your round of clays, again, with your friends, family, bachelorette party, co-workers, whatever it might be, they can have food and drink ready there for you. That way you can sit down, relax, and continue to share that experience after you get done with your round of clays. Go to deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com to see all that they had to offer, including their online store if you want to get some really cool merch. Again, deepriversportingclays.com. When you swing through there, let them know Dennis sent you.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has the starting 5 coming up next. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is, getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-480-6932. That's 800-480-6932. 800-480-6932.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
The Greenville Yard Gnomes are gearing up for the summer baseball season. The team is currently hiring seasonal staff, including ushers, ticket takers, parking lot attendants, concession workers, and other game day staff. If you're interested, you can apply at capitalbroadcasting.com/careers. The Yard Gnomes are a part of the Coastal Plain League, the nation's premier summer collegiate baseball league, and is owned by Capital Broadcasting. Apply today at capitalbroadcasting.com/careers.
What's up, bud? Where you hanging for Cinco de Mayo?
Sharkies.
Sharkies?
Yep, annual crawfish boil. Don't miss it ever.
Ooh, crawfish boil. I ain't missing that either.
You know what? It's Cinco de Mayo this year.
Whoa, Cinco de Mayo. I love it. Wait, that could be a hit song. Cinco de Mayo on the bayou. Eating crawfish.
No. You don't need to sing. I get it.
Come join the fun at Sharky's, 5800 Durham Road, the largest crawfish boil this side of New Orleans. Cinco de Mayo this year, baby.
Sharky's all day long.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
What is dedication?
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. It's officially hot today. We've made our way into the 90s at RDU. Tonight it becomes partly cloudy, the low 64. Another hot day for your Friday. Partly cloudy skies, some upper-level clouds, the high temperature 90 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 322 points to 38,225. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. Coming this June to Charlotte, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The starting 5 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly is served up by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com. Before we jump into the starting 5, we are taking the show to Topgolf tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting live from the newly opened Topgolf in Durham tomorrow. That's Friday. We'll be talking sports from one of Topgolf's 100-plus climate-controlled hitting bays from 3 to 6, and we'll be taking in all Topgolf has to offer, from its chef-driven menu to the interactive games, obviously taking some hacks at it. Join us Friday for some fun at Topgolf's 3rd location in North Carolina, Topgolf Durham at 4901 Topgolf Way. That's 4901 Topgolf Way. This isn't in the starting 5, but Tiger Woods did accept his invitation to the U.S. Open. He'll be playing at Pinehurst. Just talking golf felt like it needed to be said.
Let's go.
There was no way that Tiger Woods was going to want to play in the U.S. Open and not somehow get the invitation. I think his invitation kind of sounds like I'm accepting, and they're like, we haven't offered it. I don't need you to.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. What time's my tee time?
Yeah. No, it's not even what time's my tee time. It's here is the time for my tee time.
8:40 a.m., please.
I'm 8:43. Thank you. I'd like to play with Justin Thomas. Let's go ahead and jump into the starting 5, starting with number 5. North Carolina lawmakers are inserting themselves into the sports conversation once again. There is a bill proposed by prominent Republicans in the North Carolina kind of legislator. Or I shouldn't do this. Got to make sure you always get the wording right. There's a bill that has been filed. I'm going to say it exactly as Brian Murphy writes it on WRAL to make sure it's all right. Under a bill filed by prominent Republican House members, UNC and NC State would be required to play at least one of East Carolina, Appalachian State, and Charlotte every year, and would have to play each of those schools, home and away, every 6 years. UNC and NC State would also be required to play each other home or away every year. This is quite literally politicians, elected officials, getting so deep into the weeds of college sports that they are helping to set future schedules. This is prominent House Republicans getting involved with, no, we don't want you to play Marshall. We'd rather you play ECU. They're that down in the weeds. I genuinely think when UNC was rumored to be involved in the teams that are interested in potentially leaving the ACC, and all of a sudden there were committees and everything that made it state law that no state school can change conferences without approval from the committee, I think a bunch of lawmakers looked around and went, we can tell these athletic programs what to do? We can do that? Well, heck, let's make the 2 biggest sports programs in the state, college sports programs in the state, have to come to my county to play every once in a while. How about that? Can we make them do that? And they're like, yeah, why not? Suddenly, Boone is going, yeah, us too. Send them here. What if they don't want to? What if it's not what's best for their program? What if it's not what's best for making the college football playoff? What do we care? We get to tell them what to do.
Don't matter.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The NCAA lost all control, so now like the chaperones have to come in, right? All of a sudden, start getting the government officials that don't just deal with sports coming in to govern things. Anything you want to add, Dennis?
I will say there are probably a lot of casual fans that aren't wrapped up in terms of like, oh, this is going to impact the scheduling for CFP and all that kind of stuff, because basketball is also going to be part of this too.
Yep.
Both men's and women's. I'm a casual fan, like, I know App State. I have friends who went to App State, and I root for Carolina or whatever it is, or State or ECU, and I get to see them play each other often. for me as like a casual fan, that's cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Until NC State finishes 13th in the college football playoff rankings and doesn't get to go, and the justification given by the committee is their non-conference schedule was weak. And then all of a sudden NC State fans are going to be going, they made us. It was the government's fault.
Yeah.
Put on the tinfoil hats. We're blaming the government.
There you go.
That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the Four Horsemen. Woo!
Canes fans, get ready for something.
Oh, okay.
If you pay attention to the NBA, you may have already heard this. If not, don't worry. I'll give you the Cliff Notes. Philadelphia 76ers ownership, there's a group of them, have had to buy thousands of tickets for Game 6 to prevent the arena in Philadelphia from being taken over by Knicks fans. Earlier home games in this series, apparently if you were there as a Sixers fan, you felt outnumbered, even though it was a home game for the Sixers. Players were upset by it. Philadelphia fans were upset by it. Now, here's why it applies to us. Knicks fans and Rangers fans are similar, right? Many cases, the exact same people.
Yeah, playing the same arena makes sense.
There's, New York City is such a great city. That's why everybody keeps leaving to go live in other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of New York City fans that lived in Philly. There's a bunch of New York City fans that live in this area, which means they may be able to find their way into the stadium. I think the very simple thing here is if you are a Canes fan, you have tickets. Or you come into tickets, or maybe you're a season ticket holder, so you're able to purchase tickets. If you have tickets to the home games, we don't know when they're going to be, against the Rangers, and you can't make it. Your son or daughter has a recital. You have family in from out of town. You have a work thing you can't miss. Whatever it is. You break your leg and you don't want to have to walk up all those stairs. Whatever it is. Try to find a Canes fan to sell them to if you're going to sell them. Right? Don't just go straight open market with it. There's Canes message boards and things. You can reach out to certain prominent Canes Twitter accounts and they'll help you find somebody. I'm not saying take no money for them or give them away. I'm just saying, if possible, keep it in the Canes family. If you can go and get loud. The other thing is this, and Dennis, I know you have some strong feelings about this, so we'll bring it back up maybe tomorrow. Don't get mad at new fans.
Yes. Do not get mad at new fans.
Playoff runs bring in new fans and reignite old fans. Don't get mad at them for doing it. It's all good, right? You want more fans for your team. You want more people buying shirts. You want more people buying tickets. You want more people with energy at the games being loud. I've talked about it. Playoff runs make fans. I love when we're sitting outside PNC Arena for the home games and the eye is right behind us. And I see, it's awesome when you see someone walk up in a Rod Brind'Amour jersey and a Whalers hat and they go in and buy something from the eye. But I like it better when someone walks up with a T-shirt on that's not Canes. They walk into the eye and they walk out with a Aho jersey over their T-shirt. I'm like, all right. That's a new fan that is committing and pledging their allegiance to the Canes. It's good to have more fans. Do not be the one that's like, if you're a real fan, you'd be able to tell me who was the fourth leading scorer in Game 2 of the 06 second round. It's like, what?
It's like, don't be a gatekeeper for fandom. Do not be. That's my big thing. Do not be a gatekeeper for fandom, whether it's to a sports team, a hobby, whatever it is. Don't be a gatekeeper to fandom.
You see it with musicians where there's a fandom and it's like, oh, you're not a real fan. I've been listening since they put out a mixtape in a garage.
Yeah. Same thing.
You discovered them when they were playing arenas. And it's like, well, the music is good and I like it.
It's like, yeah, let me enjoy it.
Don't be a hipster fan. I feel like hipsters are always the ones that are like,
yes.
Oh, you go to that restaurant? Everybody goes there now. I used to go when they were only open on Tuesdays from 3 to 5. So I enjoy the food.
It's like, I'm a massive wrestling fan. You see it in pro wrestling with fandom all the time, like gatekeeping and those kinds of things. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Who won WrestleMania 4? Huh?
I'm sorry. I don't remember the finish to that match, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy pro wrestling. It's just, it's okay. You know what? Someone wants to come and, quote unquote, jump on the bandwagon, make room.
You can't say The Rock or Steve Austin. Who's your favorite?
Yeah.
All right, relax, bud.
Ric Flair.
Woo. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Super senior point guard Michael O'Connell for the NC State Wolfpack announced that he is coming back to NC State next year. I have to be honest, I was not waiting for that announcement. I didn't think that announcement was needed. Are we at the point in college basketball, college sports, where every single player, every single offseason has to put out an announcement that they are returning to their school? Michael O'Connell, by the way, played really well in their postseason run.
It was awesome.
Made one of the most iconic shots of the year, the buzzer beater against UVA that kept the hopes alive. I don't see him as an NBA guy, right? Do you know how I know he's not an NBA guy? In his announcement, he said his plans are to come back and make another run at the Final Four and graduate with his MBA. I'm like, all right, he's planning for a career in something other than sports. But it's kind of crazy that literally you could be like a solid starting point guard in the ACC, had success, made a run, not an NBA draft guy, with eligibility left, right? He still has years of eligibility, and he felt it necessary to make an announcement that he's coming back. I do think he's important for NC State. I'm not saying it's not an important decision. I'm just saying it's one that I think kind of goes without saying. He's important for this reason. I'm calling him, Ben Middlebrooks, and Jaden Taylor. Okay, those are the 3 guys for NC State. I'm calling them the keepers of the culture, or the keepers of the scrolls. They're like what is it? What's a storyteller word from like Greek times? Like the orator? No, something.
Yeah,
like
I know
that.
what you're talking about.
There's some word there that's going to pop into my brain while I'm eating dinner later tonight. I'm going to go, ha ha. A bard? No, it's not a bard. But they are that. They pass along the secrets. NC State has gotten really into bringing in these transfers with 2 or 3 years of eligibility. What that means is, especially if you have 2 years of eligibility, your first year, you're learning the culture. Your second year, you're teaching the culture, right? Your first year, you're learning about what the program is about. Your second year, you're passing it along, and it has to be that quick. DJ Burns, here for a year, learned. Next year, passed it on. Now these guys know. Casey Morsell for 3 years, right? 1 year learning, 2 years passing on. He's gone. Now it's up to Michael O'Connell, Ben Middlebrooks, Jaden Taylor to kind of pass it on to the next group. So I think it's important that he's there. I don't think everybody needs to put the announcement out. It'd be like me waking up today and telling my wife, like, I would like to let you know I am going to work today and I will host the show.
You're declaring that.
I'm declaring it. She's going to look at me like, you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're at that point where it's, if you don't say you're coming back, we're just assuming that you're leaving.
That you're at least considering it.
Yeah, it's just like, as opposed to,
the transfer portal window had passed.
Yeah.
The NBA draft window had passed. He's still announced, I'm coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that point now. We're just like, well, is this person going to leave? Is this person going to go? I mean, I've always been, until they tell me otherwise, I'm assuming you're going to stay.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's the way it should be.
Unless you're like, if Cooper Flagg wants to announce that he's coming back after, like if you're going to be the number 1 overall pick or a top 10 pick, I think most of us assume you're out. Anything other than that, I'm waiting to hear from you.
Like we did with Kyle Filipowski and Jared McCain.
Yeah.
Protected first-round picks. I'm assuming you're going to go.
Yep. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
The Panthers have done a lot to improve their roster since Dan Morgan and Dave Canales took over. New GM, new coach. They traded for Deontay Johnson. Great trade. They drafted Xavier Legette after getting back into the first round. Good for the weaponry of the offense. Drafted Jonathan Brooks, second-round running back. Spent $153 million on a 5-year, $100 million contract and a 4-year, $53 million contract on 2 offensive linemen, Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis, both guards. They signed Jadeveon Clowney. They traded away Brian Burns. They re-signed Derek Brown to a massive contract extension. They picked up the 5th-year option on J.C. Horn. They've done a lot. The Panthers still have the longest odds to win the Super Bowl of any team in the NFL. The worst odds to win the Super Bowl of any team in the NFL, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Should we put some money on it? That's a question for you to answer. I'll put it this way.
I mean, what's a dollar going to hurt, right?
Hey, yeah, depending on the odds. What is it? If anyone gives me 10,000 odds on anything, you take it. That's a
never tell me the odds.
That's a I think it's a office joke. Is it Kevin at some point in time says I'll take 10,000 to 1 on anything. I don't even watch The Office that much. Don't even enjoy it that much, and I know that's blasphemy, but is what it is. The Panthers still have a long way to go. Is my point here, right? You know what the Panthers are right now. This is a reference here. A Chipotle bowl. You know what I know about Chipotle bowls? Sometimes you feel like you've been eating it for a while, and then you look down and it looks like it's still a new bowl, like it crumbled and it moved to the rest, like it's still, or a big bowl of pasta, right? Sometimes you feel like you've been eating pasta for 20 minutes, and you look down and you're like, it doesn't even look like I started. What is going on here? That doesn't mean you didn't just crush, couple thousand calories of carbohydrates. It just means that, sometimes the work doesn't show right away. I think the Panthers have put in a ton of work on their roster, and they've gotten better, and they've made differences. But when they stand up and look at their plate, they're going to look like it's still a full bowl of pasta. We still have so much to do.
Oh, that sounds great to me.
I mean, building an NFL roster, I have to be honest, I know it's hard. It does seem kind of fun. There's a great article that was just put out in The Athletic. Like a beat reporter she was literally allowed to embed herself in the draft process. She traveled with scouts. They talk about the different softwares they're putting in their evaluations and the meetings and the Zoom calls and everything else. Sounds like a blast. I would love to get to be a fly on the wall. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
Rod Brind'Amour's contract. It is expiring this offseason, and it's a thing now. It's a distraction. People have noticed. It did feel like for most of the year, either willingly or completely unknowingly, everyone was just like, we're not going to talk about it, right? Either they knew it and they're like, they're going to get it done. We're not going to talk about it. They're going to get it done. It's not a big deal. Or they're just nobody thought to check, because why in the world would Rod Brind'Amour be on an expiring contract? You know what's another word for expiring when you talk about expiring contracts? Lame duck is something that is used in those situations.
Yeah,
where
lame duck.
How much are you invested in the future if they're not invested in you? Why would you care about what happens next year if you're not sure if you're going to be around? Like there's something to be said for when you have a coach like Rod Brind'Amour, who is pretty much universally lauded as a really, really good coach and a really, really good program setter. You don't let it get to this situation simply for stability, right? When guys are signing long-term deals, they want to know who they're playing for. They want to know the guy that they've been playing for will be around. They want to know that they're going to be coached by someone they trust. And Rod Brind'Amour has that in spades. So the fact that it's gotten this far, I would say, is less than ideal. I would also say this. Yes, it's how the Canes do business. Yes, Tom Dundon, the owner, has a history of dragging out some negotiations and making it seem more difficult than maybe we think it should be on the outside. I don't think because you've done it in the past, you have to do it this time. I think Rod Brind'Amour is different, right? Dennis, you brought it up off air. You're like, maybe some of these new fans, so many people are moving down here, might not understand, they They know who Rod Brind'Amour is, but they don't know who Rod Brind'Amour is.
They don't. Yeah, I think some people that might be new don't realize how important this guy was and is to the franchise.
Kind of like, oh yeah, he played, didn't he?
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, like it's funny. They show the guy that lifts the Stanley Cup. It looks just like the head coach. It's because it is that guy. When he was traded for back in the early 2000s, this was somebody that helped shape the culture of the locker room of that team and was the captain of the team that won the cup in 2006. He was instrumental in that run. And I mean, if you could argue, probably should have been the Conn Smythe winner for playoff MVP. It went to Cam Ward. But nonetheless, he was the captain. He was the one that drove the ship. And then after his playing career was done, he was an assistant coach under Bill Peters and under a couple other guys during that time before becoming the head coach. So he was here during the doldrums and knew exactly what this fan base was going through. And when he got hired back in 2018, he said, I bleed Hurricane Red. He didn't want to be a coach of an NHL team. He wanted to coach the Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is the team I want to coach, not name another franchise in the NHL. I want to coach this one. So he's as invested into this area and this community and this franchise as anyone else is. And if it wasn't for the trade to get him back roughly 20 years ago, this team doesn't win a Stanley Cup.
Oh, for
it
sure.
doesn't. It doesn't win a Stanley Cup. He's one that helped set the tone for guys like Eric Stahl and others. And then when became the head coach himself,
he did it again.
Yeah, exactly. But he also, when he was an assistant coach, he built the relationship with guys like Jordan Stahl. He built the relationship with guys like Sebastian Aho early in his career, Slavin, Pesci. Those guys were under Rod when he was an assistant coach as well. And he had the trust with Justin Williams. When Justin Williams came back, made him captain, it all just trickled down. He's the culture setter for this franchise.
I would add this. He built it. Nobody is going to care for something that you built more than you.
Exactly. You build the house, you're going to take care of it.
And you're going to be more careful. I mean, like if I painted the walls in a room in my house and then I'm the one moving in the couch, we're not scuffing the walls. You know what I mean? If it's a house we're just moving into and I'm carrying a couch, it's a weird part of your brain. I wish I was as careful. But when you paint it, you protect it. When you built this, you protect it. Rod Brind'Amour not only wants to protect it, he should be protected. How about that? And you know what he should be protected by? Loads and loads of cash. Back up the Brinks truck. He's worth it. I mean, I'm only half joking on this one. Like, seriously, back up the Brinks truck. He deserves it. He's worth it. Dennis, what do you have for us?
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto, give them a call. 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. Of credit cards, car loan, personal loans, 100% debt-free. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 166171, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need numbers game contestants. The prize for today, Sharky's Place gift card, home of award-winning wings. And don't miss the largest crawfish boil this side of New Orleans. This Sunday, May 4th. That's right. May 5th. This is kind of important because it's Cinco de Mayo. So May 5th, not May 4th. I was thinking maybe a little May the 4th be with you, but no. We're thinking Cinco de Mayo. Don't miss it. Starts at 2 p.m. A gift card will go to the winner of the numbers game, which we'll play right after the break. If you want to play, you have to call in now. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I got to go leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza's from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Take a look at the newly opened Topgolf in Durham, the first ever Topgolf and Research Triangle. We're talking over 100 climate-controlled hitting bays spanning 3 levels. There's also a lot that's not golf. Interactive games, a chef-driven menu. Don't miss the fan-favorite injectable donut holes, handcrafted cocktails, plenty of TVs for playoff watching and more, and music. Really something for everyone. Check out half-off gameplay every Tuesday. Be one of the first to check out the first Triangle Topgolf, 4901 Topgolf Way in Durham.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. On the line, Tucker and Carey and Rob in Goldsboro. They're getting ready to play the numbers game. So here's what we're going to do. Whenever we play the numbers game, we have to ask a question. We pick our favorite answer. That person gets to go first. Earlier today, we were talking about planning a parade. Championship parade is what we're planning because we're that confident in the Canes. Tucker and Carey, where would you have the Canes parade run, or give us some detail that you would have as a priority when it comes to planning a championship parade?
It's got to be right down Glenwood South.
That's probably position A.
That's a good spot.
That's a good spot.
It's a good spot.
Robin Goldsboro, same question to you. Where would you run the parade, or something unique you would ask the parade to include?
Something unique. I would have. I don't know if it's legal or not, but I would have all the players, or as many players as you either drink something from the cup.
Okay.
During the parade.
I would guess that would be a part of it. That's some form or fashion.
Pretty standard.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully you get to experience it. Both good answers. We'll just go with Tucker because he went first. Tucker, are you there?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and pick your category. NFL, visit the John, all players with the first name John or Jonathan. NFL, marvels in the last name. All players whose last names are kind of connected to Marvel characters. NBA, current players only, or NHL, Canes and Whalers only?
I'll do NHL.
NHL. All right. The way this works is I will give you the player and the team. I will give you the team, even though you know them in this category, just to keep it fair with the other categories, timing-wise. You have one pass if you need it, 30 seconds on the clock. Any questions before we get started?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Tony D'Angelo, Carolina Hurricanes.
77.
Correct. Jesper Foss, Carolina Hurricanes.
71.
Correct. Andrew Ladd, Carolina Hurricanes.
29.
Incorrect. Lee Stempniak, Carolina Hurricanes.
Pass.
Nolan Pratt, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Andrew Ladd, Carolina Hurricanes.
5.
Incorrect. Lee Stempniak, Carolina Hurricanes.
48.
Incorrect. Nolan Pratt, Carolina Hurricanes.
10.
Incorrect. You know the current guys pretty well. You got D'Angelo and Fost.
Yeah, I didn't get like any of the current ones.
Ladd wore number 16, Stempniak wore number 21, and Pratt wore number 4 for those of you playing at home. You got 2, solid number. We'll see if it holds up. All right, Tucker, sit on the line.
Appreciate it. Yep.
There you go. Robin Goldsboro, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, the categories remaining for you are NFL, visit the John, NFL, marvels in the last name, and NBA, current players only.
Let's do NFL. Give me the John.
All right. All these players have the first name Jonathan or John. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. You need 3 to win. Any last-second questions?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jonathan Stewart, Carolina Panthers.
20.
Incorrect. John Elway, Denver Broncos.
7.
Correct. John Taylor, San Francisco 49ers.
97.
Incorrect. Jonathan Stewart, Carolina Panthers.
33.
Incorrect. John Taylor, San Francisco 49ers.
Pass.
Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts.
13.
Incorrect. Jonathan Stewart, Carolina Panthers.
32.
Unfortunately, that's not enough to win. You needed to find the number 28. It was Jonathan Stewart was number 28. Jonathan Taylor is number 28. And John Taylor, the Niners, 82. So kind of 28, but in reverse.
Okay, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
But there you go. You did get one, so you weren't shut out. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, though. So hopefully you had some fun playing.
Thank you, John Elway.
There you go. Thank you. There is. I appreciate you for playing. There is an element of that where you're just trying not to get shut out. You're trying not to get skunked. Like just get one, and then you can go for the win. Tucker, congratulations. You are the winner.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead and sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you get your prize, which is a Sharky's gift card, Sharky's Place gift card, home of award-winning wings, and don't miss the largest crawfish boil this side of New Orleans this Sunday, May 5th. That's right, May 5th. It's Cinco de Mayo. Don't miss it. Starts at 2 p.m. this Sunday. And the winner there will get the gift card. But I stand by that. It is a relief, and you can almost hear it in their voices. A relief when the contestant gets one, and then they can kind of relax and move forward. Oh, here's a little bit of breaking news. Canes announced an agreement with the Chicago Wolves. Don Waddell, President and General Manager of the National Hockey League's Carolina Hurricanes, today announced that the team has signed a 3-year affiliation agreement with the Chicago Wolves of the American Hockey League. It's a partnership that they've had in the past, and as part of the agreement, the Hurricanes will oversee the Wolves' hockey operations decisions. This is becoming a big deal because they signed a whole bunch of guys to entry-level contracts, and they're going to need a place to put them. The most recent Calder Cup championship team, which was in 2022 for the AHL affiliate, included players such as Jalen Chatfield, Jack Drury, Pyotr Kochetkov, and Stefan Nason. So there you go. Canes announced an agreement with the Chicago Wolves that'll go through the 2026-2027 season, which, you know, if that continues the development pipeline that the Canes have had, good on you, right? That's what you're trying to do. That's what you need to do in order to continue to open this window. We're going to have this conversation. Hopefully we'll have it in depth, like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks into the future. But the Canes are going to have some tough decisions to make this offseason, and part of the only like kind of saving grace is you have some young guys that you've drafted and developed, some in the AHL, some you developed in college, some in other ways that are kind of willing and ready to step up and maybe fill some of those roles if some vets have to be parted with. But obviously the AHL kind of agreement, their affiliate partnership helps. It's interesting because they had the agreement with the Wolves, then they had no agreement for a year. Like Chicago, the Wolves were an independent AHL team this past year because they didn't have the agreement with the Canes. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Let's just go ahead and move back in together. Yep. That's kind of what it feels like. Hey, you know what? It was a trial separation. I guess so. No, actually, it kind of was a a real separation. It really was like for a full year. I mean, it's North Carolina laws. What can you do? I wish the Canes, just because of proximity, still had the Charlotte Checkers as their AHL affiliate, because there are a lot of Charlotte Checker fans that got to see guys get called up from Charlotte to Raleigh to play with the Canes, and then it's like, wow, it's like the fandom was able to grow like really spread across the state because of that reason. But we don't have that anymore. Chicago Wolves back once again. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, you have something for us here? I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. This month of May, is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. And as someone who rides a motorcycle, it's all about safety. When I took my classes at the Riding Academy through Harley-Davidson, through Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson on South Saunders Street, when I did the Riding Academy through there several months back, it was all about safety, 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 and the importance of safety when you're out there on your bike. But it's also the gear that you have as well that protects you as well. And this is actually where Law Tigers comes in. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They're part of that community that rides motorcycles, so they know exactly how much your gear, your bike, how much it's all worth to you, and what it's like to go through an accident. They know what that experience is like. So if you ever are in an accident, give Law Tigers a call. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company, because the insurance company, they just want to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, again, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm. But also, real quick, just want to make a shout out here. This Saturday is International Female Ride Day. So shout out to all the women who ride motorcycles and mopeds and scooters and all that. Happy International Female Ride Day this Saturday, May 4th. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with a little discussion on how the Panthers can get the most out of their first-round pick, Xavier Legette. Stick around.
Canes fans, game on.
Let's go, Canes!
Let's go, Canes! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go, Hurricanes! Go, Canes!
Let's go,
Canes!
Gets it with a second try. Swimmer gets it. They score!
Rebound score, Seth Jarvis.
What a save by Anderson! Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Get loud for me.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROLL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROLL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROLL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You guys do so many things: windows, doors, siding, gutters, awnings, roofing.
Roofing is the most important part of your home. You want to make sure you keep the water out. Our roofing products made by Certainty, the shingle roofing, it comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, but it has a 50-year, 5-star warranty on all material and labor, backed by the manufacturer. It's non-prorated.
I've never heard of a 50-year warranty. I always hear like 20 or 30.
Unless a tree hits the house or you have some storm damage, it'll be the last roof you ever put on your home.
I like that. What about metal roofing?
We do a lot of metal roofing. We got the standing seam, comes in a lot of different colors, and it'll last forever, but it doesn't have the 50-year warranty like the shingled roofing does.
Sounds like you're pushing shingle roofing, which you should, probably.
It's affordable, and again, it's hard to beat because it's really the last roof you'll have to pay to put on your home.
Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow is really going to be looking towards, hopefully we have a time and a day on when the Canes are going to be playing.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. We will know hopefully by tomorrow. And
honestly, we should know by tonight, to be honest.
Hopefully. No promises because, it's out of our hands.
Keyword should.
So tomorrow is obviously going to be a lot of getting ready for that first game of the Rangers series. It's going to be looking towards the weekend a bit. So before we do that, I just want to emphasize how Xavier Legette is going to have his expectations extremely high for the Panthers coming out of the draft. The Panthers trade up one pick from 33 to 32. And with that, they changed expectations for their selection a ton. Right, I always think it's funny when somebody says, like, oh, my gosh, you traded 3 first-rounders. And I'm going, there's not enough information for me to know what, how good of a trade that was, because there's a wildly big difference between the number 2 overall pick and the number 30 overall pick, right? They're first-rounders just in name only. They're not the same. So, but that doesn't mean that everyone else has that same kind of reaction. A lot of fans just think a first-round wide receiver better be a star, a second-round wide receiver better be a role player. Like, the expectations are different. So here's my advice to the Panthers. Early on with Xavier Legette, don't make him bite off more than he can chew. And what I mean by that is he's really good with the ball in his hands. He's really good instinctually. You see this with running backs, right? Running backs usually are a bit better running the ball early in their career than they are with all the other stuff, right? They're a bit better once they get the ball in their hands than they are with pass protection or running routes out of the backfield or catching or any of that, because once you get the ball in your hands, kind of everything, aside from making reads on defenders and pressing blocks and that kind of stuff, you kind of go back to like recess, right? Just don't get caught. Get across the end zone. I want Xavier Legette doing as much of that as possible early in the season. Screens, jet sweeps, move him around the formation, use him out of the backfield, shallow crossers, an occasional go route, straight go, right? Just run down the field. Those things can be quick for him. He can learn them quick. He can execute them well quickly. As the season goes along, mix in more and more nuanced route running and let him get back into the role you designed.
Wouldn't be surprised if he returned some kicks, too, with the new kickoff rules and everything like that. Get the ball in his hands that way. Get some good yards.
Side note, did you see what Jaylen Warren, the running back for the Steelers, said?
Yeah, why not put Justin Fields back there?
Why not put Justin Fields back there?
Love it.
What is going on in Pittsburgh right now? What is going on? And they got Russell Wilson. They got Justin Fields. They're not picking up Najee Harris's deal. There's chaos. Justin Fields may be returning kicks according to the backup running back. What is going on up there? Peyton Wilson will get him into shape. Xavier Legette going back there. Maybe returning kicks. Not a bad idea. Get the ball in his hands. That is how you start getting value from him right away. Then you slowly start to work him into the actual role, right? Which is, to me, when you design kind of this offense with Deontay Johnson, with Adam Thielen, with the running game, his role is threatening defenses vertically constantly, right? You can use nuanced routes. You can get him to stem in and out. You can teach him to be a receiver because he was a raw, physically gifted receiver in college. But his role is going to be, you got to put a safety over the top or he'll beat you deep. His role is going to be, you have to know where he is or else a long touchdown's coming. His role is going to be the big play guy, right? Let him get the big plays early on, run after the catch. Let him get the big plays later on, both run after the catch and air yards of pass. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. The chase is on for the Cup. And if you are looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered. We're talking same-game parlays. We're talking live betting. We're talking odds boosts. I check every day. I go down a little promos tab, bottom right, it's rewards, then promos, and I check for all the odds boost. I want to know what they're offering and see if it's something I like. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. New customers, once you use promo code TIMD at sign-up and bet $5, will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD, T-I-M-D, with no spaces, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. Also, everybody, tomorrow we're going to be at Topgolf.
Yeah, we are.
3 to 6, we'll be doing the show live from Topgolf in Durham. Stop by. Say hi. Take a couple of whacks. Get some food. Get some drink. Enjoy the atmosphere.
I'm not going to lie. The climate-controlled hitting bays, like, it might be a little warm outside, but I can crank this thing down to about 74. Let's go.
They're wild. I've been in a Topgolf in Florida. My brother lives down in Florida.
Yeah.
Where it was one of those Florida hot days.
Uh-huh.
And when I tell you we were dreading the weather and got there and it was kind of like, oh, actually, it was kind of nice.
Kind of comfortable.
kind of nice. And also then blame the air for your shots that don't go well, even though it has nothing to do with it. But
it
we'll
has
be
everything to do with
We'll be out there from 3 to 6 tomorrow. So stop out, say hi, and like I said, take in Topgolf. It's brand new in Durham, and it's a pretty cool spot. With that being said, Overdrive is coming up next. Meaning Rod Brind'Amour's contract has become a conversation piece. He's being asked about it. Don Waddell's being asked about it. We're being asked about it. So we talked about it earlier today, and that is going to lead off Overdrive. And then there's also some Lawmakers conversation coming up. So enjoy all of that. We'll see you tomorrow out in Durham at Topgolf. See you, everybody.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
Here comes Kuznetsov with the touch and the slowdown. Kuznetsov waiting. Varlamov comes out waiting, dusting it off. Waiting, shoots, he scores!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan. The